folks. It's 52 minutes after midnight on the 24th day, 6th month, 2023. And I'm looking here at some of the totals you're going to see in the tens affecting Queensland here. This is, you got some time to prepare for this. This is the EC MWF totals on the tens. Most of it's going to be coming off in a tendril. And it's going to come from this side here. It's going to also meet some stuff from the tropics here. It's going to be the recipe for disaster. I told you to expect the totals to rise. And what you can expect out west, let me get rid of some of the pressure lines here, is very, very high. As it comes in and it narrows in on Fitzroy Crossing area and all this over here. They don't need it. They really don't. And some are showing the totals being heavier towards Fitzroy Crossing, some a little higher. I just say, man, this area is full barrio, and they need to watch out. And this is fairly imminent. They don't have much more time to make a decision of whether they're going to go north or south to get out of the inundations. If you look at the totals on a 10, let's say if you lived around here and you go up this area toward Catherine, it might be your best bet for some safety. Because as you can see here, some of the totals down south are still going to be rather high, and their roads have already capped a bit of a dousings. But this area here, this road here, is going to be some no-go areas here coming up again, as these streams begin to dominate the landscape, and a lot of stuff is converging right around you, Fitzroy Crescent. So I'm going to give you guys a be vigilant warning. You know, are you aware, ready, and knowledgeable as your arc ready, right? Because as I look on the fives on this side of the country, is nothing going on. Really, just so you know, your normal tropical wetnesses you'd expect to see around Cairns and all near the reef over in the tropics. But when you start to click that out into between the fives and the tens, you see that there's a planned action here between Harvey Bay and the corridor up here to Bowen, Townsville, and all that. And so as the days go on, we'll hone in more directly on these exact totals that are to be expected along this roadway between Emerald, Longreach. These radars are going to play a key role in the manipulation of this storm and when they're going to allow the moisture corridor in. These ones will have to come on very hard down through here to force these totals up. You just hears in on your fives. See, this says it comes over. It's going to bring it in. I'm going to roll the scenario now for you to have a quick look. On New Zealand, I can give you a quick glance. This really wasn't for you guys, because you've been getting a lot of mixed mash totals. I just telling you, winter's coming and model year action's coming on about 12 days. Yeah, you got some new snows coming on the tens as winter arrives in New Zealand proper. You're going to get some cold mixed in with some of your rain, so it's not going to be the most pleasant situations for you guys. I'm going to give you a quick roll through, and then I'll show you what you're going to have for today, because then you will want to know that one, New Zealand, because you're pretty boring today. So I'm going to zip you along. Half a day along. Yeah, I'm up late. Snow in the Alps, storms in the southlands of New Zealand, creeping in toward Nelson up on towards the ranges, out across Cook Strait and all that, and impacting the northern islands. Is it just a never-ending story? The tropical tendril comes and visits again. Yes, as the big line begins to proceed across Australia, here starting on Monday. I'm pretty much in agreement with that. That's how long it took them to get that cold air up. And what's coming behind it's not a very pleasant thing to have to see. And what's coming behind is actually coming from up here. And the tendrils that they worked over, that was a big jump, wasn't it? So he was on Monday. Right, which is odd, because if you look at the pressures now, right, you only got a dip in the low. This high is going to be dominating most of the time here as it bubbles back and forth. It just eats that pressure. It just leaves its moisture behind. which just is hanging out. So EMF is going to drive it. EMF is going to hold it in place. Chem bombs are going to own it. And so you'll be expecting some really, really heavy chem, especially over Queensland coming here on Thursday and Wednesday to prepare for the coming of this event on the weekend. You're definitely going to be sprayed like bugs hard on Friday, right as they set all that up. So I'm expecting some very heavy chem deployments. So what's causing that dip just past Alza Spriggs, right? Known weather modification station. So the heavy chem deployments will be keeping this going. Oh my. Yeah, drop something cold. It'll be a lower pressure. You'll get the spin you want. And then it's meeting all the dynamics of the cold air from the mountains. It's everything just sitting there now in the trough and all that. Those dynamics will come into play of these temperature differences, right? This is a huge part of this. Remember, evaporation is a cooling process as well. And that's going to feed what's going to really give a smack to Queensland. Yeah, this is not pleasant totals to have to report on, but to see this and go to bed tonight, it would not be something that would make me sleep very well. Oof. That's going to get tornadic. There's too many flow differences here and cold and mixing from too many levels. So watch your gardens. If you got any winter crops growing. Open up your pastures. This rain's going to come very hard, very heavy, and these batches are holding a lot. You know, that's 4 centimeters every 3 hours. So 15 minutes parked over your house. It would definitely leave a river going down your driveway. As I have a sip of water here. And this is what you're looking at on the 2nd, my time, which will be Monday the 3rd. So expect those totals to rise. I'm expecting every bit 20 centimeters during this event along this corridor here. And so you guys get prepared. And flows tend to usually drag down a bit as you head toward Agnes Water through here. And so as it comes under the influence of the Bradshaw effect. Boom. If you guys got any mining equipment or anything down any holes out here, you might want to consider taking the engines off and bringing them up. Yeah, any hydraulic pumps, so you don't want that oil getting in the ground. Because what's coming is coming fast and furious, and so it could fill up a hole quick. This soil here is very dry, and so whatever comes down is going to run. And it's nowhere for it to soak in. It's going to be very windy, so it's going to fuel the backside of these storms quite well. If the big bad wolf is huffing and puffing and blowing your house down, it looks like a bit of a storm crashing in over here too that day. Coming to the backside of the mountains here. So we'll be watching this Charlieville. This is quite a dangerous line that's going to be coming through here. Bada burrow. Bada bing, bada bang, bada bong, bong, bong. My God, by the time it gets to the coast, she's belting it down. Right? An hour over your house is 2 centimeters of water that stayed there an hour. Yeah, it's 15 minutes is a half a centimeter of water. And you could count on them taking 15 minutes to crush. This is 1 hour jumps. So they're talking some very heavy tendril lines coming across the country of Australia here as we go through into the beginning of July. Oof. We all need to become independent of the government and the corporate ideas of controlling weather and things so that they make more money. Off of what? It's not cheaper or more efficient to have an electric car. It takes all these different metals that take diesel things to get them out of the ground. We're mining them. It takes more resources and carbon footprinting and or a knee print than George Floyd's neck could handle. Yeah, I went there. So terrible totals are coming, and we're going to batten down the hatches and keep an eye on things. New Zealand today wise, you've got you're facing a bit of action today. Heavy winds on your shorelines, right? So I'm going to do a quick round through on you guys here. Radar is useless to watch. It just is. I've heard they've been given some evacuation orders for this area here. It was about fucking time. But you know, when roads were already stressed and washed out, they can't handle all the people leaving at once. Look, you got some good surfing action over through here. I should take advantage of the fun. Ooh, the heavy winds though. You be watching them tides. The tide is high, you'll be holding on. The cam bombs. Oof, well, you ought to see him. Do you want to see him? Or do you want to see the roll through? The big line of storms that's going to come across your friend in the afternoon tomorrow. Hi, have it. Have it, Nelson, have it. As it crushes over thunder and lightning and everything that sounds so frightening. And in the night, the relentlessness of the wind is going to be howling. Won't you be Mary Poppins in it out there with an umbrella? Heavy, heavy winds. So I'll be watching for some localized flooding as the tides won't be allowing the river waters to go out to sea. Be careful out there, folks. Be very careful. Woof. And the storm just comes back and visits again. It was going away and she's coming back. Hi, have it. Have another force thing as it got over to the island over here that has a big fryer on it. Just send it right back your way. Ooh, have another low. Isn't that odd? You don't think that's odd? That's the double dancer there, and you got a double dancer coming out of here. And the wind is roaring, absolutely roaring. That's on the surface, so you go up here about a... We can go a little higher. It's just a little bit windy out there, huh? That's how fast that stuff can come towards you. I said these winds sometimes in the upper levels are moving 100 plus miles an hour, and that the storm's coming to you mighty quick. Those distances, and all the water can be moving in a layer in that layer all at once at 151 miles an hour in that one spot. So I say they can move stuff very quickly, and that could be just water moving. It could be just chem. It could be just air. Pocket of warmth, pocket of cold, of whatever that side of the part of the atmosphere happens to be carrying. It's been directed by various viscosities of fluids, and the atmosphere is fluid. Yeah, man, fluid, man. It's moving fast. So they were bringing these things over very, very, very quickly. Very, very, very quickly. Yeah, so it's going to come to visit rather quickly. Gets on that backside, in and around, does the dance, and then she comes until you've got a windy day. A windy, windy day. With a ho, 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 ha, ha, ha. Hit your upper level that day. You'll be hearing the wind roaring up there. Surface-wise, not so high. We're quite high over there, so the waves will be crashing. It'll be very dramatic along the shoreline here. It's a very rugged shoreline. So what your work is that day. This looks like your doldrum spots will be like here. You'll find a couple spots in the bay, but I wouldn't want to get caught there when the wind shifts. Again, the Crail Bay area over here is always a good spot for my fishermen people to go, because you got lots of little choices you can make. Yeah, I think I just showed you the best one. Punga. Punga Wanga Bunga Cove. On this side. Have kirk. It's have luck. So what? Oh my God. Yeah, this is some of what you're facing. So you got some terrible totals coming. And so we're going to be vigilant up in the far north. And we'll be keeping an eye on things. Expect these totals to rise. I'm expecting every bit of 20 centimeters to 25 centimeters in this corridor here. Open up the pastures, put out the hay, make sure everything stays alive out there. Watch yourself on these roads. Don't get caught out. Don't lose your trucks. Don't lose your lives. Don't lose your patience. Don't lose your cool. Be you. Be free. Be oneness. Big love. Peace.